what do we have in the master section? Up here, we have a foot switch input. The foot switch is there for you to switch the effects on and off. Okay, there is a button, but this is designed for people who are playing guitar or keyboard while doing sound. So they will punch in and out with the foot pedal. Here's where you connect your headphones. Down here, this is your effect section, or the list of effects, effect number that is active. You have your meters. The meters, as you know, when PFL is active, they show the level of that channel. When it is not active, they will show the output of the board. Down here, you have, these are the controls for the effect section. You have your aux masters. Here you have something that's labeled monitor level and phones level. Now, phones is the level for your headphones. Monitor level, there is another set of outputs behind that is labeled monitor out. Okay? Now, this monitor is not stage monitor, it is studio monitor out. Okay? It's used for when the desk is used in recording applications. For live sound, typically is not used. You can use it as an additional output. For example, if you want to record the gig for your own reference. Below that, we have these switches allow you to select what you hear in your headphones, whether you want to hear stereo or the groups. And then here, this is the effects return that we will explain. Okay, so let's move on to the effects section. So to begin with, what do we mean by this effects? Okay, have you all heard during the 7th month those Getai bands? Okay, and do you realize that there's a lot of like echo on the voice? I use the Getai bands because they tend to use a lot of effects. Western music doesn't use so much, okay? So you may, first of all, we need to establish two terms. The first is dry. Dry is not no alcohol, it's no effects, okay? So this sound, I'll give myself a bit of compression. This is no effects, okay? If I send some effect, check, 1, 2, right? You can hear there's an effect, okay? So this is referred to as wet. The way that this was done in the old days, I know I say the old days, they still do it today, but you have mixer, okay? Pardon the coarseness of my drawing. Okay, these are your meters. You would have an external effects unit. Okay, looks a little bit like amplifier or wireless mics that lives in the rack. Okay, and you would send a signal. So this would be called your effects send. And this is dry. You would then have an effects return that was wet, okay? And this, in live sound, this is 100% wet. And the idea is that you blend the dry sound, because we understand that the fader is the dry sound, right? No effect. The effects return is 100% effect. On this board, it's this knob here. Okay? All right. So the way that you send effects to the engine in this mixer is you turn up the white knob. Okay? So what you do is you make sure that your channel is on. Okay? You make sure that this effects return is turned up and that it's switched on. And then you just turn up the white knob. Okay, so this, it happens to be set to effect number 1. Check, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's your effect. Okay, so right now, if I leave that on, I'll drive myself nuts. Okay, so right now you are listening to the blend of the dry and the wet. Okay, if I turn the ST off, check 1 2. This is the 100% wet. This is now you'd never use that because you can't understand what's going on, right? Okay, but basically you are blending that in with the original sound to create something that is acoustically pleasing. Okay, now you have to ask the question, why do we do this? Okay, you could argue that the Ketai band, the primary audience is not human, all right? So maybe they like that kind of sound, all right? But the point is that you think about it, music is usually performed in venues that have some acoustic ambience, okay? Concert halls, people who sing in choirs, right? You sing in a concert hall. The concert hall has some reverberation, okay? When you put a mic this distance from somebody's mouth, you lose that aspect of the sound. So you need to add it back in electronically, right? If you have somebody perform with no reverb, the effect will be that their voice will sound like there's something missing, okay? And the reason is that all modern music is recorded with effects. So if you don't have that in live sound, it will sound like something is missing, right? It will sound like the voice is naked or thin or something like that. Spoken word, no, I don't go and stick that on your lecturer or your teacher. That's time. Spoken word, dry, always, okay? Unless it's a special effect, right? Maybe the guy is teaching about it. All right, so that's why we do it. How much? Good question. This is much too much, okay? I'm doing this so that you can hear the effect. For live sound, usually what I tell people is you turn up the knob until you can hear it's there, and then you turn it back a bit. So check 1 2 2 2. Okay, I can hear it's there, so I turn it back. Check 1 2 3 4. Check 1 2. That's more than enough. Okay, so you can hear that is. Sorry. Dry, no effect. Check 1 2. This is with the effect. Okay. So you can understand why it sounds like there's something missing, right? Okay, so let's quickly run through the different types of effects. You can see there under types of effects, reverb, delay, modulation, distortion, all of this. The easiest way for me to show you is just to spin through them, okay? In your master section, you have a knob here, which is used to select the program. You can see the number is changing. Below that, there is a parameter knob which changes a certain aspect of the reverb. Okay, so let's begin. So 1, 2, anything that says rev something, that is a type of reverb. So reverb simulates an acoustic space. So this is hall. Hall means concert hall. And the parameter is the size of the hall. So all the way down, you can hear that it sounds smaller, right? And this is middle, all the way up. This is a larger space. To change, you click and then press the knob down. This is 2. You can hear it's a different sort of hall, okay? Maybe more metallic sounding, something like that. 3 and 4 are room reverbs. Room is a smaller space yet, okay? And this is the size of the room. Very small room. Check 1 2. You can hear almost nothing. Huh? If I turn it off, check 1 2. This is dry. Check 1 2. This is wet. There's very little difference. All the way up. Check. Right? So this is like classroom or something like that. 4 is even smaller. This is maybe like bathroom, broom cupboard, something like that. 5 and 6, stage reverb. Check 1 2. Stage reverb all the way down and all the way up. This is an interesting one. Seven is a plate reverb. In the old days, what they would do is, before they had electronic reverb, they had big metal plates that they would hang up, and there would be a microphone on one, a speaker here and a microphone here, and the sound would go through the plate, and that would create a sort of analog reverb. So plate reverbs have a certain kind of check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2, check. Plate reverbs have a metallic top end that some people like. 8 is drum ambience. 9, so just to let you hear, this is drum ambience, good for drums. 9, check 1 2, early reflections. 10, something called gated reverb, check 1 2. Okay, so which of those do you use? People, wow, I got like 10. You can only use one at a time, okay, across the whole mixer. So you have to choose wisely. The general rule is this: faster songs, shorter reverb. Longer songs, bigger reverb. That's the general rule, okay? So you might use maybe that plate reverb, you use it for like a rock and roll song, for a ballad, maybe you use a hall or something like that, okay? Again, your seniors will guide you. Okay, now the crazy fun starts. We start to get into the delays. Delay is... Reverb simulates an acoustic space. Delay is a clear, discernible repeat of the original sound, okay? And it may be with or without regeneration. So let me show you that. So let's go to 11. Check, check. Check, check. The parameter control is the delay time. Check, check, check. That's very, very, very short delay time. Middle, and this is maximum. It's like you have your own private army talking with you, huh? Okay. So then we have basically 12 is with regeneration. Listen to this. Okay, so this is 11. This is 12. 12. Longer delay. Less delay. Check, check. Yeah, so that one gets trippy real quick. If you ever feel lonely, go and... Okay. 13 and 14 are echoes. Echoes are variations on reverb. Check 1, 2. Yeah. Right, 13. 14 is apparently good for karaoke. I wouldn't know anything about that. 15, 16, 17. These are what are called modulation effects. Modulation effects, the best way is to find yourself an electric guitarist friend and get them to demonstrate. Okay? What they do is that they take the original signal, they double it, and they delay the copy slightly, right? So you have original. So let's say passage of time is this way, right? So you have the original, they double it. And then what they do is they delay one just slightly and they vary this delay time, okay? So what you get is a kind of swirly, weird, ambience-y kind of thing, all right? 15 is a flanger. It's quite difficult to hear, to be honest with you. 16, check, 1, 2, 2. Nah, can't really hear. It's on, by the way. 17 is a chorus. Check 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Nah. They're very hard to hear. They're designed for guitar. Okay? 20, tremolo. Check 1, 2. Yeah, I can hear a little bit there. 21 simulates the wah pedal that your guitarist uses. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't doing that, by the way. That's your tremolo. 22. This is called radio voice. This is an interesting one. What it does is it takes the sound and it removes all the bass and all the treble to make it sound like your voice is coming out of a tiny speaker. So the best way to experience this is to switch off the direct sound. So check, 1, 2. This is the check 1, 2. Can you hear that? Yeah. That's why it's called radio voice. Okay. 23, distortion. Check 1. Oh man. Check 1, 2, 2. Distortion. Okay. 24 is a so if we turn that off, right? So check 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the pitch change, and you can go real low.
You can go real high. It's so cool.
And if you blend it in with the original, there's like two people. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. So obviously, if you really hate your singer, you can do that to them and twist this back and forth. Okay, all right. So later you will get a sort of competition happening. Okay, so those are the effects. Okay, I'm just going to push on and I'm going to cover the USB recording, and then we will finish and you guys can go off and experiment. The mixer has a USB interface that is stereo bidirectional. What that means is it goes both directions and it is stereo, 2 channels each direction. Okay? So nowadays, people record using computers, right? All the recording is, a lot of it, if you hear, like, for example, the word Pro Tools, right? Pro Tools is a recording program. And they will record a lot of them with no mixer at all, okay? In the old days, they needed to use a mixer because the recorders, I mean, in the old days, there were no computers, right? So they would record to tape. And the mixer was like the control station. You can connect a recorder to this mixer using the monitor outs or the duplicate of the left-right, which I am doing now, right, to record our session. This allows you to send and bring audio into the mixer digitally, all right? The advantage of this is that computers are not designed for audio. They are designed to crunch numbers. So as a result, the audio converters in your laptop are typically not very good, which is one reason why you'll find that if you plug your headphones into your laptop, often your music doesn't sound very good. But then when you plug it into your iPhone, it really sounds good. Oh, hang on, iPhone, no headphone jack. But when you plug it into your Samsung, but the point is that these are not made for audio. Okay, so it's better to use the audio converters in the board rather than here. It also means that you can record with no additional equipment other than this cable. This cable is a USB-A type to USB-B type. This end here is the one that is found on your printer. So what you do is you connect it there, and then you plug it into your laptop. Now, on PCs, the laptop will automatically recognize this, and it will set the input and output to the mixer by default. Okay? So the way that you check this is you open the sound control panel and you can see it says line MG XU, okay? And the other thing is that it will set it up such that it sends and receives audio, okay? Mac, I am not sure. Some people may need to download a driver, but it's free. Okay, so how do you record? Very simple. What you do is you launch the voice recorder that is included with Windows. So with Mac, you can open GarageBand, or there's any number of free, Audacity. But the point is that you can do this is all included in Windows. Okay. So what you do is that you open this and check 1 2. You press record. Okay. This records the left-right signal. So, check 1 2 3 4. Mic check 1 2 3 4. This is a demo. Check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay. So we got 15 seconds of sound. What we'll do is we'll play it back, and as I told you, it comes in through this last channel. You must make sure that the line USB switch is down. Okay, so here's our recording here that we just recorded, and I will hit play. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. All right? Yes, all right. Okay? You can use this to record like lectures or talks or that kind of thing. Okay? I recommend that you do not use it to record bands. The reason being is that you will find you can record it for your own reference, but don't record it and give it to the band, because what will happen is that on the recording, the balance will be totally different to what you heard in the venue, right? Because remember that when you mix a band, there is sound coming directly from the stage, right? There's drums, guitars, that sort of thing. So what you are recording here is only what is going through the sound system. So if you record a band, what you will find is that the vocals will be super loud and a lot of the instruments will be very, very soft. Okay? So for that, get them to hire you separately to do the recording. This is very useful when you want to play back tracks, backing tracks, background music, whatever, because it means that you avoid having to use this connector, right? These connectors are notoriously unreliable. They come out easily, they break, they are noisy, that kind of thing. Okay? So with this is much more robust than the mini jack, and all of the connection is done automatically. The only thing is that this gain doesn't work. Okay, the gain you have to control it by the volume on your laptop. So if it's too loud, if it's peaking, then you have to turn your laptop down. Okay, that's it.